Hello! I'm back today with another ranking video, and I'm gonna be ranking Will-O-Wisp ships based on how much they wrecked me. This video turned out to be like a lot longer than what I expected it to be when I was planning it, so y'all better watch it or just like leave it on in the background while you do things because it took a long time to make. Also, once again, this is not a ranking of which ships I think are the best or the worst. Okay, so let's get into the main content. The tier list is absolutely devastated, bawling my eyes out. This ship like destroyed me. And then the next one is makes me upset. This is kind of self-explanatory. You'll see. And the next one, sort of sitting in the middle, I'll take it, I guess. This is like I'm not mad about them. And like the ship is like good or okay, like I like the ship or it's like okay. I either don't like love the ship or like the ending wasn't the best for them. But you know, this is still like a lot better than nothing, so like I'll take it. And then the next one is gives me hope. This is like getting into really good territory. These ships gave me and gives me hope, and I think is great representation. Finally, we have A Girl Can Dream. This is like the opposite of the absolutely bawling my eyes out. Like, what a great ship and great chemistry and fantastic ending, you know, like. So, hope that makes sense, and let's dive right into it because we have 26 ships! Oh yeah, it's gonna be so good. Okay, we're starting off with Dickinson. Y'all, last time, so many of y'all seem to be upset that I put Dickinson in the depends category and that I should rank it higher. And I was going through and gathering more clips this time, and you know what? I agree. I think I would actually bump them up in my previous ranking video now. And I was also gonna put them in I'll take it, I guess, because I remember there being a lot of turmoil and like back and forth. Will they, won't they? And it was like just tearing me apart. But after doing a bit more research, gathering more clips, I do think this is an amazing series. And Haley Steinfeld and Ella Hunt, phenomenal performances. Their chemistry, so many sparks. You see this in the background? You know, this is sort of like a period drama comedy piece with a very modern take, which makes it very unique and one of a kind. And I don't think I've seen anything like it at all still. And it is a fun piece, but it's also very hard-hitting sometimes, especially with like the ups and downs with Emily and Sue's relationship. They so obviously and clearly want to be together and love each other, but they can't because of society. And they're still in each other's lives very much because, you know, Sue married Emily's brother and Emily and Sue never really stopped loving each other. Their love for each other is so passionate, like you can really feel it. And despite all the circumstances, I think they got the happy ending that they deserve in this series. So I'm gonna put them in gives me hope. Don't come at me again for this. Next, we have Sara and Nyssa from Arrow. In my other ranking video, I had Sara and Ava, but I didn't watch the entire like whole DC's Legend of Tomorrow series. So like, I don't know like the full extent of Sara and Ava's relationship, but I remember I did love them. But I'm gonna rank Sara and Nyssa here because I did watch all of Arrow, which I think is a pretty good show. I think it went a little bit off rails in the last season and the time traveling and like changing future stuff, but overall, pretty solid show. And Sara and Nyssa, maybe not great together, but for the time they were together, I think it made sense. And I love Nyssa. I think she is so cool. Isn't she so cool? So I really liked the fact that like they were together. Not ideal how they ended because Sara chose Oliver. But I mean, Nyssa is the daughter of Ra's al Ghul, who is the head of the League of Assassins. So, you know, anyway, I think it was still really nice to have that in the Arrowverse relatively like early-ish on. And then Sara went on to marry Ava, so that was great too. I'll put them in I'll take it, I guess. Okay, next we have Penelope and Josie from Legacies. I think I actually started watching this show because I saw some posts about Hope and Josie, actually. I've like skim-watched The Vampire Diaries and the originals, and both were like pretty hetero from what I remember. So I was like, oh my gosh, like there's gay? So I started to watch it, and then Hope and Josie were not a thing, but Penelope and Josie were. And looking back, you know, despite how like toxic and mean Penelope was, I was a hardcore Posey shipper. And I remember I briefly watched How to Rock, and I knew Stevie gave me some fruity vibes. Anyway, despite Josie hating Penelope, or so she said, and setting Penelope's hair on fire, giving her an awesome lob to rock, part of her still loved her, I'm sure. And Penelope was always just looking out for Josie. Definitely not in the best way, but like I really like seeing them together. And just when it seemed like Penelope was like trying to patch things up again and getting through to Josie and like being nicer, she left. She just left. Absolutely devastating. And I don't think she ever came back. I didn't watch the rest of Legacies, but they're going in absolutely devastating, bawling my eyes out. Next we have Catra and Adora from She-Ra and the Princesses of Power. First off, I love this show. What a great show. Y'all know how much I love She-Ra. I made a whole video about why I love this show so much. And you know, Catra and Adora, they go through so much, like individually and like together. So much trauma to unpack there. But yeah, I love Catra. Adora is this magical warrior princess, supposedly like destined to save the world, or like she thinks it's her responsibility and all that, and she has to sacrifice herself. And Catra, who was obviously always in love with Adora, but didn't know like what love really was. And neither did Adora really, because of the conditions they grew up in. Catra is really the only person other than Mara to ask what she wants. Which also, crazy parallels in this scene from the heartbreaking Posey scene in Legacies.
What do you want, Adora? I have to do this, Catra. I'm the only one who can.
Then do it. That's what you want. I don't have to stay and watch it happen.
Catra, please. Stay.
Penelope. Don't leave. You know, for weeks, I had been hoping that you would give me one reason to stay. Instead, you gave me 1,000 reasons to go, and I will not wait around and watch what happens to you next.
Anyway, in the end, Adora does save the world, but like probably not in the way she ever thought she would be, because it was because she finally let herself be loved, and she obviously also always loved Catra. So love saves them all. How poetic. Definitely gives me hope. Next we have Bottoms with Josie and Isabel. I found this movie, Bottoms, I found it very interesting. It's very like satirical. I just wasn't expecting it to be what it was. I didn't really know what I was getting myself into. Basically, these two high school girls have crushes on these other two girls who are cheerleaders, so they start a literal fight club to try and get with them. I didn't realize like it was gonna be like an actual fight club. Like, I don't know. like somehow, with a lot of lying involved, one of them actually gets the girl. I think if I were to watch this again now, knowing what it is, I think I would enjoy it a lot more. It's very, very chaotic, very unhinged, but actually like really funny.
Oh, you're skinny too as well. I'm Josie, by the way. Good evening. Yeah, you're a real skinny mini, aren't you?
And there's Le Tripit de Croix and Willowa. I can't say there was anything life-changing, but like, I'll take it. You know, it's a fun watch. Okay, next we have Eve and Villanelle from Killing Eve. Well, I loved Villanelle. I adored her. She was amazing. Super funny, super witty, super good looking in suits. First, I love a good slow burn as much as the next person. But I feel like this slow burn took a little too long. And it happened a little too late. Second, terrible ending. For the ship, for the season, for the entire series. I don't know what the writers were on in the last season, but that was not it. I hated the ending, and it makes me quite upset thinking about it. So that's where they're gonna go. Ooh, okay, next we have the half of it with Aster and Ellie. First of all, thank you, Alice Swoop, for this great Asian American Wonder Woman movie content. Now, I don't know if my ranking here is a little biased, probably is, but I thought Aster was really pretty, and I also saw a lot of myself in Ellie. I'm like not nearly as smart as her, of course, but like, you know, like just like trying to be friends or like being nice to a guy, and then they start liking you, but like hello, like very clearly gay. Checks out. Anyway, yeah, I thought it was really cute with their wall painting and all the banter that they had. And, you know, when they were hanging out at the train station and then when they went to the lake after, I could just like feel the gay panic oozing out of Ellie. In the end, Ellie's going off to college, but before she does, she makes her boldest move of all and runs to kiss Aster. It was super cute, and then she just like runs and like bikes away. Even though they don't end up together, I think their story and like the ending they had and the fact that we got a kiss from them, that gave me hope. Also the bike, that somehow gotta be a nod to Girls Like Girls. Like, next we have Abby and Harper from Happiest season. I love Kristen Stewart. She is so funny. I think Abby and Harper were like, they were okay. I don't know that I like love them. You know, like Harper's been hiding Abby and like, but I mean, I get it. It's hard to come out when you don't know or like think that it won't be well accepted. But you know, it's not really fair to Abby because she was like really ready and wanted to be fully together with Harper. But you know, they did end up together after some family drama and fights and ruined paintings. I think that Abby and Aubrey Plaza's character, Riley, would have been great together. But maybe that's just because I love Aubrey Plaza. Anyway, yeah, I'll take it. I'll take Abby and Harper. Another Willow Christmas movie. We have Last ExMas with Maggie and Julianne. I actually like this one in the sense that like both of them were openly out, so it's like a pretty different plot than Happiest season. Although Maggie did hide Julianne, but that was in high school because Maggie was supposedly like the golden girl and Julianne was not. They're from like this small town, so like everyone knows everyone and everyone ended up doing anyways. And then like 10 years later or something, they're both getting the key to the town at the same time.
I thought it was pretty clear that I didn't want to see you. Shouldn't you be cooking or something? We're actually all out of food today.
No, this is actually going better than I thought.
And the whole movie is sort of like this like, will they or won't they get back together? And then Maggie's most recent ex comes back to find her, and it's this whole thing, and it's like a whole like car chase scene. And then Maggie ends up confessing her love to Julianne, and they get together. They go caroling together. You know, I think I did like them better together than Abby and Harper actually. And I think it's like a pretty funny and easy watch. Like you don't need to use too much brain. I don't know if it's enough to put them in Gives Me Hope. So I'll take it. I still like the movie. Oh my gosh. Okay, next we have Arcane with Kate and Vi. I love Arcane. One of the best shows of all time, I think. What great writing, peak animation, and the voice acting. Wow. Definitely top tier. If you haven't watched this yet, you are missing out, I fear. No. Kate and Vi. I mean, they are almost complete opposites. Well, like, they definitely are in terms of some things, like their upbringings. Vi is from the Undercity, and, like, they had to fight to live and to get by, and her parents were killed by enforcers. And Kate is from Piltover, and her mom is a counselor, and they are super rich, and Kate becomes an enforcer. She's a bit oblivious to the fact that, like, it's a bit corrupt at the top, though. And on the other hand, you know, Vi gets thrown into jail for, like, no reason, basically. And also, Kate is a long-range sniper, and Vi is, like, an up-close, like, punch-you-in-the-facer. But what they do have in common is that they both have really good hearts, and they're both gay. There's, like, an immediate connection, and it's just so interesting to see how their story plays out, because like it's not a straight line, and there's like a lot of tragedy in Arcane. I think the whole thing is a tragedy, one that was already sort of like pre-written in a way, because it is based on League of Legends, but like you don't have to know League of Legends to watch this. Like I don't know anything about it, but yeah, I really like them together, really love the show, so I'm gonna put them in Gives Me Hope. Okay, next we have The 100 with Clarke and Lexa. Okay, I think this was the first time that I was ever like, they are soulmates. They are the OTP. The way that Lexa is a literal warrior and like the commander of all the warriors, but she is so soft for Clarke, and like only Clarke. They're enemies to allies, to Lexa betraying Clarke and hating Lexa, back to allies, to like lovers arc. And the first thing that Lexa ever said to Clarke was, so you're the one. Well, technically she says something like, so you're the one that like burned 300 of my soldiers alive or something.
You're the one who burned 300 of my warriors alive.
But like, they were destined. And I don't remember if this was like the first Will-O-Wisp, but it was definitely one of the first that I saw, that I like really saw, and that I was heavily invested in. And so to watch Clarke and Lexa grow from what they each were when you first see them to like how they affected one another and how they were like finally together. but also not really. And then it just ended because Lexa died, because her like bodyguard, flamekeeper person was trying to Clarke, but accidentally Lexa instead, and then she died. So stupid. Probably will never be over them. So they are going in absolutely devastated, bawling my eyes out. Next, we have Toni and Shelby from The Wilds. This is another sort of enemy to lovers kind of situation, and I feel like this is like one of the more real life, normal kind of shows, in this ranking at least, in that there's no like superheroes or superpowers or assassins or witches or ghosts or like future dystopian apocalyptic setting. I mean, I guess they are sort of like stranded on an island after their plane crashed, and so it's kind of like Lord of the Flies with all girls. Shelby and Toni really do not like each other at the start, and Shelby is like outright homophobic actually, which turns out to be a lot of internalized homophobia, but still like not great, you know. And Toni and the other girls are kind of like, what the
What? Am I not allowed to have my own beliefs?
Not those ones.
And then Shelby saves Toni's life after she eats some bad oysters, and it's quite intimate and everyone is watching. Later on, Shelby and Toni are alone in the woods, and Shelby finally lets go and kisses Toni and then follows it up by literally running away, like she just sprinted away. Shelby! And then at some point, they're alone together again, and they kiss again. Anyway, Shelby finally starts accepting the gayness within herself, and her and Toni are together for a bit. But keep in mind, they are still stranded on an island and away from the rest of society. Things happen, and some of them almost die, and last we see, they are broken up and the show did not get renewed for a third season. So, all of that, not ideal. But all this was still great to see, and they had good chemistry, and they had a lot of screen time together actually. So, I'll take it. Next, we have Top of My School with Bree and Avery. I feel like this one is a little niche. Top of My School is a musical short film by Catherine Lynn Rose about this like overachiever, gifted girl with a lot of pressure from her Asian immigrant parents. She's running for school president, and this other girl is running against her. And that same girl gets paired up with her for an assignment about Macbeth. And there's like a lot of tension between them. Anyway, the whole thing is like really good, but the ending is like, what the fuck? But also, I felt like something really unhinged was gonna happen because it's a musical, and musicals are like really unhinged, like the entire plot of Dear Evan Hansen. But I was not expecting the twist in this. It is foreshadowed quite heavily. So like actually, I don't even know if I can be upset. But I can't say that I'm happy with it, like the ending, you know? But it was really genius writing, but still upsetting. Next, we have Saving Face with Will and Vivian. Honestly, I feel like this is a very, very underrated Willow movie, and underrated movie in general. It's a bit older, from 2004, but definitely ahead of its time. It's very progressive. Like a queer romantic comedy centered around Chinese Americans and the cultural expectations and tradition and what it's like being closeted. The whole movie is really good, and there are some really, really funny parts. And I think the movie was very authentic and real. Like the dinner scene with Will and Vivian and Will's mom, so real. I can't like.
你有没有男朋友啊？
没有。
你长得那么漂亮，追求你的人一定很多。
Anyway, Will and Vivian are so great together, and I love that they got their happy ending. And it's been a hot second since I watched this movie, but I definitely 1000% think that they give me hope. So next we have Lucifer with Maze and Eve, a demon and the first woman. Come on. I don't know that I would say this is a match made in heaven, but they make a lot of sense together actually. If you know these characters, you would know what I mean. I don't know what else to say, you know? Of course they have some problems because like I can't imagine a demon is great at talking about her feelings, but she is great when she actually tries. If a demon can grow a soul and fall in love, I'd say that it gives me hope. And if it's Willowa, well, 100% yeah. And I love Maze and Eve, so yeah. Next we have Agatha All Along with Agatha and Rio. The MCU is just getting everyone from Parks and Rec. Anyway, Aubrey Plaza as the Green Witch, perfect casting. And Agatha falling in love with the Green Witch makes a lot of sense, honestly. But alas, Nikki's death was inevitable and Rio had to take him. And Agatha hates her for it, but definitely still loves her. But Rio is again the Green Witch. So there's like a lot of tension between them, obviously, and they almost kiss, but then they don't. And then after a lot of fighting, you know, they finally do kiss and Agatha dies and becomes a ghost. Not the ideal ending, but like, hey, Marvel, woulda, I'll take it. Next we have Supergirl with Kara and Lena. I was a big Supercorp shipper, and I love Kara, I love Lena, big fan of Katie McGrath. She is so fine. And Melissa Benoist, so good. They are also both very good in the show. Do their characters make the best decisions all the time? Definitely not. But they come around eventually. And from the get-go, there's just such good chemistry between Kara and Lena. And they have so much screen time together. Like, alone. And the way they look at each other, come on. Friends do not look at friends like that. If you look at your friends like that, I don't know what to tell you. They are going and makes me upset because they were never canon. You know, despite all of the 5 years, whatever, however long this was, history says that they were just really, really good friends. Ooh, okay. Next we have Brooklyn Nine-Nine with Rosa and Jocelyn. Brooklyn Nine-Nine is great. One of my comfort shows, I think. Also, I love Rosa. She's so cool.
What kind of woman doesn't have an ex? I think it's funny.
Iconic. Also, loved her coming out and the game night episode with her parents. Like, that's hard. And her and Jocelyn start dating, and we get to meet Jocelyn Price.
Jocelyn Price, hey!
Jocelyn's cool, you know? And then there's a whole episode where Jocelyn confronts Rosa about never having time for them and is going to break up with Rosa.
We're together every night. Unless you're at work or doing work or thinking about work. It's like you never have time for me.
I'm sorry, but Rosa doesn't have time for you. We have a really important work thing.
It turns out Rosa actually does love Jocelyn, and so they stay together. And, you know, super great, and I love that for Rosa. But I think they do break up at some point. But, you know, still so nice to see that, nice to have that, and get to actually, like, see Rosa be in a Willow relationship, because I love Rosa. So I'll take it. Okay, this one I feel like is pretty underrated and not very well known. We have Maggie and Sydney from Saving Hope. I feel like this show is probably not really well known because it is like a Canadian supernatural medical drama television series set in Toronto. But I feel like I had to include them because I think this is one of the first times I ever saw Willow representation where one of them was Asian. So like, that was pretty cool. And I love Maggie. She's so cute and witty, and she's definitely my favorite character in this show. And then there's also Sydney, who is a Jewish doctor and also gay, which, like, wow, talk about representation here, right?
It's like I've been waiting 3 years for Christmas, and now it's finally here, and
I'm Jewish.
And they did have a happy ending. I wish they would have gotten more screen time, but like, for what it was at the time that this show aired, I love them, and they gave me a lot of hope. Like Saving Hope. Get it? Okay, next one we have Haunting of Bly Manor with Danny and Jamie. This is a really tough one because I absolutely love this show. Such a good show, great characters, phenomenal casting and acting, and I don't even like horror. But Danny and Jamie, I mean, this story is really about them, and it's a love story, as older Flora puts it. Danny, her whole life, has been trying to be something that she wasn't, you know, trying to make herself feel and love a certain way. But you know, that's not how it works. Danny herself is so kind and caring and selfless and soft and cursed. She's cursed. Like, I don't know how else to say it. Like, her and Jamie were finally in a good place. And then the hauntedness of the manor catches up, and the faceless lady in the lake is about to kidnap the little girl, and so Danny invites the entity into herself. And nobody knows how long Danny has before the entity is going to take over. But they get time together. They get years together. That's a lot. But it does come to an end, and it is absolutely gut-wrenching. Danny spent the whole time trying to like avoid mirrors and reflections, afraid of what she might see. And then in the end, Jamie is constantly looking at reflections, hoping of what she could see, of who she could see. And that part of that makes it worse. But at least they had time. A good 9 years, it seems. So I don't I don't quite know how to rank this one because they go in absolutely devastated, bawling my eyes out for sure every time I watch it. And I watch it like every year. But they also give me hope, you know? So I'm gonna put them here, but just know they live in both. Okay? We are getting close to the end, and there's still one category that is completely empty. Will any of these ships be able to fill it? We'll see. Next, we have Kate and Emmeline from Everything Sucks. So I watched this show some time ago, and I don't fully remember it, but I think it was an interesting show. And I think there was only one season, but I think I watched it because I heard there was Willowa, and there was in fact Willowa. And the show is supposed to be pretty nostalgic, set in the 90s, but also I was not alive in the 90s, so it didn't exactly have that effect on me, I guess. But I can appreciate what it was. And the characters are pretty realistic, they have their problems, and it's a very coming of age show, a lot of parts about acceptance, etc. And I liked seeing Kate sort of figuring out who she was and how her and Emmeline actually ended up together at the end. But honestly, yeah, I don't really remember much about the show. I thought it was okay. I don't think I'm worse off from watching it or anything, but I also feel like I would have been the same had I not. But I'll take it. Okay, next we have Avatar: The Legend of Korra with Korra and Asami. Well, if you have seen my past videos, then you know that I am all about Korra Asami. I love Korra and Asami. I love Korra. I always thought she was super cool, super strong, super great, and also misunderstood. I feel like people don't get her character. She's fierce and she can be stubborn, but she fights for what she believes in and what she thinks is right. And Asami matches her in so many ways. Even though they might seem really different, they are also quite similar. Asami is super smart, she's confident, and she's also extremely kind and caring. And I feel like their relationship was a very natural and subtle progression. And to see these two amazing and phenomenal women together, well, it really gives me hope. Especially because I also love the Avatar universe so much, so yeah. Ooh, oh my gosh. Okay, we have another really, really great pairing. We have Lumity, Luz and Amity from the Owl House. Luz and Amity start out as enemies, but there's actually just a lot of misunderstandings.
If Amity saw that, I saw that!
They both have a really good heart. Amity has these super high expectations from her parents and needs to be perfect and stay in line, and Luz doesn't mean to, somehow gets into a lot of trouble. Of course, Luz is just trying to do what she thinks is right, but things don't always go as planned, but she always tries to fix things. Anyway, they start spending time together here and there, and then it blossoms into this really cute, really wholesome relationship, and Amity is actually really, really soft, especially when it comes to Luz. Choked on myself. Saliva. They stand up for each other and they fight for each other and they are there for each other.
I don't know what rituals you have in the human realm, but I'll help you pick some flowers and we can do something here.
And they're really great together. They really give me hope. And if I had seen this when I was 10 to 14, I think definitely would have been life-changing. Great show, great ship.
I could help carry you if it really hurts.
I'm fine. Who's Amity? And scoop. Oh, wow. Sports.
Next we have Pitch Perfect with Becca and Chloe. We love Chloe. I love Anna Kendrick and Brittany Snow. Their chemistry right off the bat, so good. Pitch Perfect was also really funny and iconic. Pitch Perfect 2 is also okay. Pitch Perfect 3, kind of random, but whatever, still fun. But Chloe, always great. And you're telling me through all of college, they did not get together. Come on. There is clearly something going on between them. Hello?
For those of you who don't know, Becca and Chloe are total lesbians for each other.
They are gonna go, and it makes me upset because it makes me upset that we never got to see them together. And I know there is a deleted scene of them kissing out their Universal.
Alright, I gotta go show this guy how it's done. Oh. I always knew.
Okay, next we have Girls Like Girls with Coley and Sonia. Okay, wait, so there's the music video version and the movie version, but the movie is basically just an extended version of the music video. Regardless, I think they're both great. The Girls Like Girls music video, life-changing. And the song itself, revolutionary and iconic. I listened to it so much and I still do. Like, what a good song. There's definitely a lot of tension and drama, especially like in the movie, but at the end of the day, the girl gets the girl and we love to see it. We love Haley Kiyoko, lesbian Jesus. Chloe and Sonia definitely give me hope. Oh my gosh, yes. Waverly and Nicole, aka Way Hot from Winona Earp. This is what I'm talking about. They have so much screen time. Their relationship becomes pretty pivotal to the plot of the series. They have a lot of chemistry. Like, they're just, I don't even know where to start. They are like goals, actually. The way the relationship develops, like, they do have rough times. Waverly gets possessed by some demon thing at one point. Nicole secretly has a wife. Waverly is actually half angel. Nicole turns into a frog. But like, everything works out. They are actually stronger for it. And they really fight for each other. They work through their problems, and it's actually like a really healthy and happy relationship. And they get married, and yeah, a girl can dream, right? They get the top. They or the bottom. I don't know, but a girl can dream for sure. If you haven't watched this show and you're looking for a good Will-O-Wisp, this is the one. Go watch it. That's it. That's all I have for today. Now, I'm sure if you have made it to the end, to this far, you might feel differently about some of these ships, but let me know. Which ones absolutely wrecked you? Which ones give you the most hope? I want to know. And let me know if you want to see me do another Willow ranking video. But yeah, that's all for now. Bye!